Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and this is 5 knives that make me happy. Now, this is a tag video going around, and I appreciate so much the people that tagged me. Multiple channels tagged me. Metal Complex, Ray from Everyday City Carry, Professor EDC, and a couple other channels. And I can't tell you guys how much it means to me. It really does. I really wanted to make this video, even though this is a very difficult video for me to make. But I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now, I've got to tag some videos myself for other people or for other channels to do this same topic. And the topic is knives that make you happy. Not necessarily your favorite knives in your collection, but just knives when you look at, man, they make you smile. They make you, it's the reason why you love this, the knife hobby, or maybe possibly from a memory, whatever. It just means a lot to you. So, Mike Emler is one of the channels I'm going to tag, and all these channels you can find down in the description. Please, I beg you guys, please go follow these channels. Mike Emler, Knife Sergent, he's always in my lives. I appreciate all the support from him. Jersey Knife Guy, man, we got to get him over 1,000 subs. And also Grateful Panic, because both of them, Grateful Panic and Jersey Knife Guy, are both trying to get over 1,000 subs. Let's get them over it. Let's get them there. They can monetize their channel then. And also Scott from Big Board Knife and Gear. One of the knives in this list also include him, and I'd love to see him do this video as well. I'd love to see the 5 knives that make him happy. I'm making it very easy for you guys. Just hit the links in the description. It'll take you right over to their channels. So, starting off my list now, I'm a very sentimental person. I always have been. Now, I got to kind of give a little bit of a backstory. So, I got to be careful with being sentimental with certain things, though, even though it's something I can't do anything about. I just am that way. But I've lost everything sentimental in my life. Everything. The most sentimental things in my life are gone. There's nothing I can do about it. The most irreplaceable things in my life are gone. So, I like to hang on to memories. And, but one thing, me and my dad, when I was younger, we had a knife collection that wound up getting stolen. And some of the knives in that collection they meant a lot. They meant a lot. They were irreplaceable, family memorabilia, whatever you want to call it, gone. So, I wound up starting to collect again. And the new knife collection that I started, I wound up getting up to a huge collection, but they didn't mean as much to me as the original collection, because they weren't sentimental or anything like that. They were just knives I was collecting. Now, they meant a lot to me, and I did love them, and it kills me to say that I had to sell them to survive. So there was, nothing I could do. I had to sell them off, and, I just went through some hard times, but I started collecting again, and I found the community, and the community really helped me a lot. And that's another reason why I appreciate the community so much. And this knife right here was a knife that, as I started building my collection, we didn't have any like high-end pieces, what I would call high-end, or what was high-end to me at the time, and I really wanted this knife so bad. Now, they only made 100 pieces of this, and this is the Dave Warren To Ya Envy 1. They made 10 pieces in like a bluish gray, and then this green version. Like I said, 100 pieces of this. This is number 31. That's just oil, guys. So Kara knew I wanted it so bad, and she got it for me, and it meant so much. And when I got it, man, it was like, it's such an amazing knife. These To Ya Envies, they feel so high end. And this one, you can actually reverse flick from the fuller. Now, there's a second version. I have the second version. I do not have the third version, but I do have the second version. And the second version is a drop point dual grind. I'd call it a straight back, but you guys have probably seen it in my collection if you follow my channel. I love that knife a lot, but this one is rarer. You can't get this anymore. And it sparked the passion for the NV2 that I love so much. So that is this one. Now, these are in no particular order or anything. I'm just kind of, going with the flow. Now, me and Kara we try to go to Colorado. We've been there a couple years in a row. She has family. We meet up there. And when we were going there, we wanted to pick up a fixed blade because we were going to go hiking and do all these things. And we wound up finding this buck Mesa for like $17. They're normally like $50, but we got it on a clearance sale at a store. And it's awesome, first of all. Really awesome fixed blade. But it reminds me of that trip to Colorado with my wife. And it has green micarta, some of the best micarta, first of all. I can't believe I got this thing for $17. But amazing green micarta. It has a nice hollow ground clip point blade. It does have a small recurve. It is nicely ground, good geometry, especially for a 5-inch blade. It is I think it's 420 steel. That's what Buck usually uses. But, you know, it does have the Boss heat treat on there. So USA made, and I love it. I love it a lot, and it just reminds me of that trip. Now, speaking of that trip, we also filmed a video. We also filmed videos with this in Colorado. We have them uploaded to the channel if you guys ever want to check them out. Awesome videos. Kara was editing at that time, so they're probably way better than what I do now. Now, when we were there, we also filmed a video at a knife shop. We found a local knife shop. I think, oh man, I don't remember if that trip was the Durango one or the other one. But anyways, the point is we found a local knife shop and they allowed us to film there. And we wound up buying a Benchmade Griptilian. That was the knife I bought there. And, you know, I think it was like 120, 140 bucks, something like that. They were a little bit more expensive from the shop that we got it at. I could have gotten it cheaper just by buying it online or something, but we wanted to support the company and the place and everything else, so we bought this. I also bought some stones, some sharpening stones, but I love this knife. I'll never get rid of it. It reminds me of that trip and that video that we made on the channel, and yeah, I love it a lot. S30V, it is the FRN version, so like the cheaper version you can get, but no difference. I love the sound of it. That loud thwack. I love this knife. Super smooth too. Awesome knife. Now, this isn't a knife. I got a few more because I'm sorry, I cheated. I'm adding a couple more to my list. So this is not a knife, so this doesn't count, but on our honeymoon, we picked this up. I think it was Honduras. We went to four different countries, and it was a beautiful time. We went to a bunch of islands on a cruise, and yeah, we picked this little guy up from one of the little island marketplaces, and you know, it's just a cool memory. And I know it's not a real knife, but you know, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. Now, the next thing I'm gonna show also is not a knife, but it really makes me happy. I really love this, and this is a sharpening stone, a translucent Arkansas. And when I got into knife sharpening, this was like the holy grail of sharpening stones. Now, this isn't going to be the best stone for high carbide steels or anything like that, but it's really good for carbon steels or low carbide steels. And you can still finish on this with, it's almost like a ceramic stone. It is a natural stone though, and the reason why it's called the translucent is because it's translucent, and it's one of the highest grit natural stones from the Arkansas stones. I don't even think they mine these anymore, but they're very expensive, and I wanted one for so long. And even though my favorite stones to sharpen on are my Neeves stones, this is my most precious stone I have, and it just makes me happy. I love it. And like I said, I spend so long watching so many other channels sharpen on them and hone their knives, and especially like with straight razors and things like that. And they kept talking about how amazing these translucents are, and I'm happy that I got one, and it just means a lot. And these things will last forever. I'll be able to, if I don't drop it and shatter it, I could pass this down to my great-grandchildren. So, next is a knife. Now, off the bat, I just want to say that, you know, like I said, I'm very sentimental with things, and I appreciate all the gifts, all the knives you guys have sent us and given to us and allowed us to do giveaways with or keep or sell or whatever for the channel. All the support you guys give us means so much. Well, a long time ago, we did a video and someone sent us a Microtech Mini, and Kara loved it. Kara just loved it. So then Scott from Big Bore Knifing Gear sent us this Microtech Mini SOCOM Elite. It's over 20 years old. It's from 1999, and it is in absolute perfect condition. Perfect. You can't get any newer. I mean, it's brand new. And in the video when we unboxed it, Kara actually cried. Kara cried about it. I mean, you could, really see how emotional she got. And it really reminds me of, these are tools, but how happy they can make us. And some people might not understand that, but there is a level of happiness that comes with them. And that this knife just really reminds me of that moment of seeing Kara's face and seeing how happy she was to get something like this from another channel, another viewer. I don't even think Scott had his channel yet, so he didn't even have a channel yet. And thank you, Scott. That's very awesome. Now, the next one is a twofold, but I'm just gonna, I'll just pull out the one. So, or maybe I'll pull them both out. So another viewer, I'm not gonna say his name. I'm not sure if he wanted his name out there. I don't remember, but he sent us an Olamic whippersnapper and a Spyderco Slish Bowie. Now, I love this knife. Love this knife. I don't care what anybody says about the hype and says, oh, it's just all hyped out because of Nick Shabazz's video. Say what you want. I don't care. I love this knife. This knife is so awesome to me. I think it's such a great built, or it's just built so nice, so good. And it's just such a great functional tool. So easy to carry, nice and slim, nice, stupid smooth. I mean, redonkulously smooth. I love it. It's like on glass. And yeah, I love it. Now, this whippersnapper, another one. I love this knife so much. And Kara really wanted an Olamic knife for a long time. It was her grail for a long time. She wound up leaving it alone because we never got to try one for so long. So when we got this, I mean, this is my favorite Olamic knife. I got to try one before he actually gifted us this one. And it's just so fidgety. It's so well built. I mean, the quality is top notch. It's an amazing knife. It is a USA company. I believe they do a little bit of outsourcing to Italy or whatever, but awesome, awesome knife. Love, love, love that knife. So like I said, I am cheating a little bit. There are a couple more knives coming up, and one of them is the React K2. Now, this knife, if you guys have been following the channel for a while, came from Shadowman. Now, Shadowman was a guy who wanted to stay anonymous, and he sent us a box of knives and also a bunch of other stuff too, some shirts, and it was just so amazing to us that somebody could be that generous. And this community is just so awesome. And I can't help but get a smile on my face when I open this thing up. It's such a hard knife to get. It's very difficult. It is an expensive knife. And, I really, really appreciate the knives he sent us. This kind of represents all the knives that he sent us. And, they make me really happy. So I really appreciate him. And, we don't get to talk to him much because I believe he works overseas. So thank you, man. We really appreciate it. And they make me happy as hell. Now, another person in the community, and like I said, man, I'm sentimental with a lot of gifts, especially when they are of, it's not that they're of a certain level or a certain price tag or anything like that, but there are some that just, they really touch your heart. But we have even other knives. I still have knives that were sent to us that were only $20, that were just a gift. And then there's been some that were used as giveaways and things like that. And, that really helps the channel. Like I said, I can't thank people enough. But there's been one guy, Mr. Amazing. If you follow the channel, you already know. He has gifted us so many knives of value that we can't afford. Hands down, we couldn't afford it. And I made this video, and this knife is going to represent all of them, because I don't want to sit. I'm not going to sit here and pull them all out. That's for another video. But my Slim Midi, he got me this Slim Midi, and he watched me do a video where I spoke on knives that I really wanted to try so bad. And this was one of them. And not only did he get me this knife, but then he got me like an upper tier version, a version that's just decked out, and it's so beautiful to me. I love it so much. Now, he also got me a Rockstead, and I was going to use the Rockstead instead of this, just because who gets somebody a Rockstead? I'll tell you, Mr. Amazing does. And it still, when I see this knife walking by, or when I pick it up, sometimes I just pick it up and I just roll it out, and I just think, like, this is so crazy. It's so crazy that I have a Rockstead. I never, ever would have thought I would own a Rockstead. Like, it was just so far out of my reach that it wasn't even a thought. Even though I've watched so many videos and loved them and everything else, but it's just, sometimes you just know, like, I'm not going to have that. So it's nice to see, but I got one, and man, thank you, Mr. Amazing. The things you've done for our channel have been out of this world. And this knife, I wanted it so bad, and I got one. And it's one of my favorite knives in my entire collection. And because of Mr. Amazing, he has gifted us knives that if I picked out my absolute favorite knives out of my collection, if I did like a top 20, the majority of those knives are in my top 20, because they're absolute grails for anybody, let alone someone like me. So thank you, man. And I really appreciate you guys watching. I love all the support. I love, just this community, period. The community just makes me happy, and I love being a part of it. And I really hope you guys go and check those channels out. Peace.